Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. My name is Robbie.
And I'm Pooja.
So I'm Chinese and Caucasian, and my wife Pooja is Indian. And it happens to be the Mid-Autumn Festival for Chinese people, and we thought that we'd make a video talking about what exactly the festival is about and how it's celebrated. So Pooja, I was wondering, have you celebrated the Mid-Autumn Festival before, and what do you think the festival is all about?
So, I have been to Gardens by the Bay and Chinatown previously for Mid-Autumn Festival. When I think what it's about, I think about lanterns, especially the pretty hand-painted lanterns that you see at Gardens by the Bay, just like rows and rows of hand-painted ones. I also think about the brightly lit lanterns that you see at Chinatown. Usually they're red.
Yeah, that was
color.
Beautiful. We got to see that this year.
Yeah, that was really nice. I think what else I think about is mooncakes, especially because all of a sudden you think about the little sellers, the street stalls at Chinatown where the ladies sell different types of mooncakes.
Yeah, we got a mooncake for us tonight, so we're going to give it a little bit of a taste test, right?
Oh, lucky me.
Yeah.
And what else? I also think about the lights because every now and then you see little colorful lights on the side of the streets.
It's really
so just
special.
some sort of festive stuff like that.
Yeah. So from what I know about the Mid-Autumn Festival, so some people also call it the Lantern Festival or the Mooncake Festival. It's celebrated in the 8th month of the lunar calendar or the Chinese calendar on the 15th day.
Okay.
And on this festival, people usually appreciate the moon because the moon is at its fullest during this time of the lunar year.
Oh yeah, I remember that when we went to see it at Chinatown, it was a full moon that night.
Yes, that's right. So in the footage that we captured, you guys would be able to see that it was a full moon, and traditionally families look at the moon and drink tea and appreciate just the fullness of the moon. And if you look at the moon and how round it is, it makes people think about how families spend time together and how a round moon signifies a harmonious, united family. And during this festival, people also carry lanterns around. So you'll see many children carrying around lanterns, and this signifies lighting the way towards a more prosperous future. So that's pretty interesting.
That's nice.
Yeah, so I thought before we go on further about the meaning of the festival, why don't we give one of the tasty treats of the festival a try?
Okay.
So that's the mooncake.
I'd love to.
So we've got here a mooncake, and I haven't told Pooja what flavor it is. Why don't you give it a try and let me know what you think.
Okay.
Yeah, so here's the...
So already I can see the egg yolk inside.
Look at this.
And I want to guess that it's red bean flavor.
Yeah, so it is the I think it's the default flavor of the mooncake, which is lotus paste. And
lotus paste.
yeah, they do the mooncake with and without egg inside, and I like the kind with egg yolk because it adds that extra egg flavor.
It's not very sweet.
That's good.
I gotta say though, I don't really like the egg taste.
So you prefer it with just the plain lotus paste? Yeah, and mooncakes can come in many flavors. Here in Singapore, where we live, you often come across, I think what they call the snow skin mooncakes, which are an interesting, almost dessert-like covering to the mooncakes.
Those are the whiter ones, right?
Yes.
I especially like when you go to FairPrice and Giant and you see household brands like Oreo come up with their own version of mooncakes. That's always fun.
Yeah, that's really innovative. I think just having many different kinds of this traditional dessert. And you'll see it in many different colors. And one interesting thing that I've noticed about mooncakes in recent years is that in Singapore, at least, mooncakes are sold in interesting cabinets. So part of the treat of buying some mooncakes is they'll sell it to you in a really elaborate box, and the box can have drawers. The box can have doors, almost like a closet.
Almost like they're selling jewelry or something,
Oh yeah, but it's just mooncake, so that's the cool thing about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought I'd share with you guys a little story about the Mooncake Festival, how it came about. So the legend goes that there was a hero by the name of Yi. So Yi helped the town to solve this horrible problem. The problem was that one day the sons there were 10 suns in the sky, and the scorching heat really just ravaged the land. But Yi, the hero, he used his arrow, he was such a good archer, and he shot down 9 of the suns, leaving only 1 sun in the sky. And for doing this good deed, he received this elixir of immortality. So he had the opportunity to become immortal, but because he loved his wife was called Chang'e, he loved her so much that he didn't want to become immortal. So he was just like, okay, wife, you take this immortality medicine, I'm not going to use it. But one day when he was out, one of his apprentices, who I think was kind of jealous of him for his his fame, came and tried to hurt his wife.
Oh.
Yeah, and then his wife, to escape, she took the immortality elixir and then she flew up to the moon.
Ooh.
Yeah, so she became like the moon goddess, and I think that when we celebrate this Mid-Autumn Festival, when Chinese people look at the moon, sometimes they're thinking about Chang'e might be up there because she kind of had a self-sacrificing act where she took that immortality medicine so that the bad guy couldn't get it.
Okay, so that's where the sort of moon and mooncake stuff comes from, right?
Yes, yeah, that is one of the legends which kind of underlies this festival.
I've heard that there's another myth around, or another story around like the mooncake, right? Like how it's kind of like used to hide secret messages or something?
Yes, so there is another story that I've heard of, which was that when people were kind of uniting against, I think it was a very mean king, they passed secret notes in mooncakes. So if you look at mooncakes, they actually look like the right shape, to pass around these messages.
Secret message.
Yeah, because it's so compact, with the bean paste inside that you wouldn't know that something was baked in there. So that was certainly an interesting way that the people in that legend kind of fought against the evil ruler.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I think next it would be interesting to share with you guys a little bit about how we've celebrated Mid-Autumn Festival in our own lives. So Pooja, have you had how do you celebrate it here in Singapore?
We like to just kind of walk around Gardens by the Bay because they have, again, like all of these different things that you can see. Unfortunately, this year there wasn't too much happening because normally it's very elaborate, but because there aren't that many tourists, around and everyone's wearing masks and trying to social distance, it wasn't as happening as previous years, but still, like, there was enough to see. So that was nice.
Yeah, I think the Mid-Autumn Festival is celebrated all over the world, and Singapore is one of the places where there's lots of light-ups and decorations around this festival. Personally, as a kid, my parents would buy me these lanterns that I would carry around. So, you carry the lanterns to kind of light the way to a prosperous future, and there were 2 kinds of lanterns, I remember. So one kind of lantern was electric. So if you don't want to light a fire, you can use an electric lantern, and they kind of look like inflatable action figures because you can have like the Ultraman lantern, and the little kids carry them around, and that's really cute. Or you can have like a lantern with a candle in it if you want to be a little bit more old school. So now the candle lanterns, I think, are where there's really a lot of variety in terms of the lanterns, because you have dragons, you have tigers, and you have like other things, and you can just pick the lantern that you like the most. And every year, it's a treat to pick your Mid-Autumn Festival lantern and go out there, and you just walk around, you meet other kids. So those were my my good memories, I think, of celebrating this festival. And of course the mooncakes. I think in my adult years I've kind of gone a little bit less on the mooncakes. I've stopped eating so much mooncakes because it is delicious and it's traditional, but it is quite heavy on the calories. But when I was a kid, I loved the mooncakes.
Thanks, Robbie, for sharing all of that about the legend and the story and the mooncakes and stuff.
It was my pleasure.